How many different ways can you shove blueberries into a cake? It is blueberry season. I love blueberries. They are delicious. You're gonna take your favorite vanilla cake batter and whip it up. And now I'm gonna add the zest. We're gonna add the zest, we'll do it together, of 2 lemons. And oftentimes when you add zest to any baked goods, what you then call it is scented. So this is lemon scented cake because it's got the zest in there. Very zesty. And now we'll add the poppy seeds. So I go with a very specific measurement of about that. It's almost enough for a bagel. There's some poppy seed goodness. Don't get drug tested after you eat this cake. Oftentimes when you add ingredients into a cake batter, when it bakes, a lot of times they'll sink. Has it happened to you? It's happened to me. It's happened to the best of us, but that's okay. Whatever flour you have in your recipe, take that flour and then coat the ingredients in that flour, and that will suspend the ingredients in the cake while it bakes. So here's the very important part. We're folding it in. And folding is just incorporating 2 ingredients gently, so you're not deflating any of it. And you don't want to overmix here. I always pan over a sink, safety first. Well, and also I have OCD issues. I just don't want it all over the floor. That's gross. Just a little bit more on the bottom. That is where most cake batter tends to stick, is the center of the pan. And since we added those blueberries, I want to make sure that nothing gets sticky, except for my weed. Time for them to get baked. I'm an expert at the bake. One of the biggest rules in the kitchen, any professional kitchen, is you got time to lean, you got time to clean. If you cook in a mess, your food's a mess. So, and yeah, maybe I might have a little OCD. Yeah, I was totally raised by a hoarder, so maybe I have a few issues. But whatever, it made me funny. So one of the ways I'm gonna get blueberries into this cake is a fresh blueberry compote. A compote is just fresh fruit reduced with a little bit of some sugar and some acid, cooked down so it gets to whatever thickness you want it. And this girl's looking for it thick. And blueberry compote, I mean, you can put this stuff on anything. Pancakes, angel food cake, your finger. I feel like I'm in the mood to add cloves. It's gonna give it just a little bit of a bite. I really don't want that much. It has to come to a boil, and then I will set a timer, actually, for 15 minutes. Yeah, but first I have to wipe because it's me and I have a few issues, but I'm okay with it. Oh, they're very pretty. For my cream cheese frosting, because it's about me or else I lose focus, I like to add equal parts of butter and cream cheese because you get the yummy taste of the cream cheese, but it holds up so much better. You want to make sure your butter and cream cheese are both at room temp. Just easier to mix up. I use unsalted butter and I add salt. And I add about this much. Very scientific, very specific. Cannot get enough of the zesting today. It's definitely a shill. Make sure the cream cheese and butter is mixed together really well. All right, so scrape the bowl. Vanilla extract, measured. Right over the bowl though, look at that, I'm living dangerously. Oh my gosh, the scandal. Pro tip I have for powdered sugar, because I use so much of it, I buy it in these 2-pound bags. As long as it is sealed and unopened, you do not need to sift it. Just beat the hell out of it. But if it's opened, that means for sure oxygen has gotten in and it can start getting clumps. And if you start with clumps, very hard to get clumps out at the end. You want to start clump free. So open powdered sugar, sift, closed, don't sift. What am I gonna, it's a lot of sugar in there. Give the important scrape down. I like to make my cream cheese frosting the day I'm gonna use it because it can get really, really hard, and I just like it on that first beat down that I just gave it. So we're gonna put it in the fridge, but don't worry, it's gonna get beat again. Don't worry, it likes it. You know it's done because it bounces back and it's pulling away from the pan. Oh, they smell so good. I'm gonna let this come to room temp. Very important, you wanna do it in shifts. Let this come to room temp, and then you're gonna put saran wrap over it. Well, I will, because I'm here and I'm doing this. And then the fridge. You wanna cool it down in stages so that you don't spoil it and give anyone trichinosis. Goals. Here goes that refresh beat. Another way to fill a pastry bag, if you're not used to it, I've been doing it for 30 years, so it's kind of like second nature, but another very easy technique is you put your pastry bag in a cup like this, fold the edges over, and then just fill it like this. I love how passionate you all were for that video. Thank you so much. I don't like tools that just have one purpose. So I know there's tools out there that can level your cakes, but I like my big serrated knife, works just as good. So just saw it, you're turning it with your hand, just to take off this dome part. You're turning the table with your hand. And I have no problems with the dome part because then it's cake scraps and they're delicious. That's how you get to sample your cake. I'm gonna mix together some of my favorite blueberry preserves with some of the blueberry compote. This is just going to, the preserves is just gonna give it a little more body with the compote for our filling. Always start with a little dab of glue. That's a lot, but whatevs. First layer of cake, piping an edge. This is like a dam to keep this delicious filling. I do a little circle of the cream cheese filling right here, and then just a little thing in the center there, because it's delicious cream cheese frosting, and it also just gives the cake more structure and integrity as you're building it. I cannot live without my offset spatula. Do you, use a butter knife, whatevs, but how it has this little beveled piece makes it so easy to just go along the sides of a cake, much easier than a butter knife. But do whatever the hell works for you. This is not rules, this is just how Polly does it. Alrighty, I'm gonna right into the freezer. We want this one quickerly. I'm ready. Time to take this girl out. We're gonna give her a crumb coat. I think I made enough frosting. I don't know how to make small amounts of any sort of frosting. Yeah, this is a big piece of metal. It is called a cake comb, and I cannot live without it. I just let, because this will show you how even or uneven your cakes are with the frosting. So I go around with this one time like this, and then you see how like there's like those holes and stuff. I'm gonna go back and fill them in. Well, I can see them. I don't know if you can see them. I can. I don't want this exactly, I don't want this covered with so much frosting you can't see the cake, because I want a semi-naked cake. I want like a little bit naughty, just enough to leave room for the imagination. You know, it's so blatantly obvious and gratuitous when something's just buck naked. I like to leave room for the imagination. So then go back and scrape this so it's nice and even. Yeah, that's beautiful. And because the cake comb is the height of the cake, it's gonna get it nice and even and over the top. For the cake, I wanna make just a couple of flowers. So I'm gonna make some peonies, and they're going to be a light purple representative of the blueberry. So I'm adding some purple gel. I want a really light one, but I also want a really dark one. Yeah, because I just want this one. I want the same shade, but I want this one to be lighter in color. And for this, I keep the frosting very chilled because as I pipe, my hand's gonna warm up the pastry bag. I'm not gonna mix it all the way because, you know, I like the swirl of color, and as you are holding the pastry bag and piping, you're heating it up, and it will affect the color. And so by undermixing it, it gives it more depth and texture while you're holding the bag, while you're heating it up with your hot, clammy hands. All right, so I'm going to make a two-toned flower, and how you do that, how you fill your bag is put the tip in. You wanna know which side's coming out of the tip, and I want the darker color to come out from this side. So what I do is, I have a bag that's already full. Squeeze a line in here. Then, just to make sure, really get it all over there. Pipe a base, you just want to go around. You just pipe a little U shape up and down like that. Peonies have all those wonderful layers. So I want to give this peony some layers on this side. Look at that, so pretty, so pretty. So now I'm going to make some smaller dark purple peonies. Go back in the fridge. Now I'm going to make an Italian meringue for the meringue to go around the cake. 1 cup of sugar. I want to mix this so that I know that the sugar and water is all combined. What makes it an Italian meringue is how I'm cooking it. I'm putting sugar and water in a pan, and I'm going to put it on the stove top to get to soft ball, and that is an Italian meringue. Like to separate my eggs how I was taught at the French Culinary Institute and reinforced when I worked in the pastry kitchen at Le Cirque, and that's with your hands, my very washed hands, they're very washed. And so what you want to do is with your hands, just pick the yolk up, and these are room temp eggs, they always work better. And you just go back and forth with the egg yolk until it's clear of the whites. And this way, when you're doing it with your hands rather than with the shell, there's no risk of breaking the yolk, because when you're making a meringue, you cannot have any of the fat of the yolk in your egg whites, otherwise they will not whip up and get fluffy and pretty and meringue. And I'm gonna use those egg yolks for some creme brulee. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Take the egg whites into my KitchenAid bowl, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And again, this is very specific measuring. You want to get it just about that much. See how very specific that is? Very specific. And then also I'm going to add in some cream of tartar. And this is another very specific measure, about this much. This is going to stabilize the meringue. And I'm not stable, so I at least need my meringue to be. So I'm going to whisk the egg white, salt, and cream of tartar in the bowl with this whisk attachment to get out any clumps of the cream and tartar, because you don't want any clumps, and now is the time to get those out. While these egg whites are whisking, I'm gonna slowly add in a 1/3 cup of sugar. That's very pretty. Ooh, she's got stiff peaks. When I write on a cake, exactly my point being, I practice first on a little paper towel next to the cake, because what I was gonna write is not at all this word. So thank God I did the little practice. Here is that delicious compote that I made earlier, and I am going to just have this all along the border.
I just want big, billowy mounds of this meringue.
Okay, so now, this is why I do cakes. I love this so much. It makes me so happy. Alrighty, so now let's do some placement of those flowers I made. You had nothing to do with it. She's zesty. Oh, you need a fork. Come fork her. The lemon really hits. It's nice and zesty, like I said. And the blueberries flavor is so strong. I love it. Like and subscribe for more.